In the golden light of dawn over the Arabian Peninsula, where the whispers of history still echo through the desert winds, there lived a woman whose name would forever be etched in the annals of Islamic history. Her name was Aisha bint Abu Bakr, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and a scholar whose wisdom illuminated the early Muslim community like stars in the vast desert sky. If you love Allah, comment Allahu Akbar and subscribe to the channel. To understand why Aisha would one day lead an army, we must first journey back to the tender moments of her youth when she sat at the feet of the Prophet, absorbing his teachings like the earth absorbs the morning dew. She was not merely a wife, she was a student, a companion, and a keeper of sacred knowledge. Her sharp intellect and remarkable memory made her one of the most important narrators of hadith, preserving the sayings and actions of the Prophet for generations to come. The Prophet himself recognized her exceptional qualities. In the gentle evening conversations beneath the Arabian stars, he would often turn to her for counsel, and she would offer insights that reflected both wisdom and courage. She was like a bright lamp in the house of knowledge, illuminating the path for those who sought understanding. But life, like the shifting sands of the desert, brings unexpected changes. When the Prophet passed away, the Muslim community faced its first great trial. Abu Bakr, Aisha's father, became the first Caliph, followed by Umar ibn al-Khattab, and then Uthman ibn Affan. Each transition brought its own challenges, like waves reshaping the shoreline of a vast ocean. During Uthman's caliphate, tensions began to rise within the Muslim community. Some complained about administrative decisions, while others questioned certain appointments. The unity that had once bound the Muslim ummah like a strong rope began to show signs of strain. Aisha, observing these developments from her home in Medina, felt the weight of responsibility that comes with being a mother of the believers. When Uthman was tragically killed in his own home, the Muslim community was shaken to its very foundation. Ali ibn Abi Talib, the Prophet's cousin and son-in-law, was chosen as the fourth Caliph. However, not everyone accepted this appointment immediately. The circumstances surrounding Uthman's death remained unclear, and calls for justice echoed throughout the Muslim lands like thunder rolling across the desert. Aisha found herself at the center of a moral dilemma that would test her convictions. She believed deeply that justice must be served for Uthman's death before the community could heal and move forward. In her heart, she carried the teachings of the Prophet about justice, accountability, and the importance of addressing wrongdoing before it spreads like wildfire through dry grass. Her decision to take action was not born from a desire for power or personal gain, but from a sincere belief that she had a duty to speak for justice. She was joined by two prominent companions of the Prophet, Talha ibn Ubaidullah and Zubair ibn al-Awwam, both of whom had been promised paradise by the Prophet himself. Together, they represented voices calling for accountability and justice. The journey from Medina to Basra was long and arduous, like traveling through an endless sea of sand. Aisha rode in a howdah, a covered seat atop a camel, which gave the eventual conflict its name, the Battle of the Camel. As they traveled, her heart was heavy with the weight of her decision, yet she remained convinced that she was following her conscience and her understanding of what was right. If you love the Sahaba of the Rasul, hit the subscribe and like this video. When the two sides met near Basra in the year 656 CE, neither initially intended for battle to break out. Both Aisha and Ali were people of wisdom who understood that the Muslim community had already suffered enough division. They engaged in negotiations, seeking a peaceful resolution that would satisfy the demands for justice while preserving the unity of the ummah. For a moment, it seemed that peace might prevail. The leaders from both sides came close to reaching an agreement. However, like a sudden sandstorm that changes the landscape in moments, events spiraled beyond anyone's control. Some accounts suggest that certain individuals, fearing that peace would deny them the chaos they sought to exploit, deliberately provoked the conflict. When the battle finally erupted, it was brief but tragic. The sight of Muslims fighting Muslims broke Aisha's heart like a vessel shattered on stone. She witnessed the death of Talha and Zubair, two men she had respected and trusted. The camel she rode became a symbol around which the battle raged, and when it was finally brought down, the conflict came to an end. Ali, demonstrating the nobility that had always characterized him, treated Aisha with the utmost respect and honor after the battle. He ensured she was escorted safely back to Medina, providing her with an honorable retinue befitting her status as a mother of the believers. This gesture showed that despite their political differences, the bonds of Islamic brotherhood and respect remained strong. The aftermath of the Battle of the Camel brought profound reflection for all involved. Aisha herself is reported to have expressed regret about the conflict, wishing that she had remained in her home rather than become involved in the political turmoil. This reflection speaks to her sincere nature and her genuine desire to do what was right, even when the path was unclear. The story of Aisha's involvement in the Battle of the Camel teaches us several timeless lessons. It reminds us that even the most sincere intentions can sometimes lead to unintended consequences, like a stone thrown into still water creating ripples that reach far shores. It shows us that political disagreements, no matter how passionate, should never overshadow the greater bonds that unite a community. Most importantly, it demonstrates that seeking justice is a noble goal, but the methods we choose to pursue it must be carefully considered. Like a skilled craftsman who selects the right tool for each task, we must choose our approaches to justice with wisdom and prudence. In the years that followed, Aisha returned to her role as a teacher and scholar, continuing to share the knowledge she had gained from her unique position as the Prophet's wife. Her contributions to Islamic scholarship remained invaluable, and her narrations of hadith continued to guide Muslims in their daily lives, like a lighthouse guiding ships safely to shore. The Battle of the Camel stands as a reminder that history is complex, filled with sincere people who sometimes find themselves on different sides of important issues. Rather than judging the past with the clarity of hindsight, we can learn from these experiences to build a more just and unified future, where disagreements are resolved through dialogue and wisdom rather than conflict. If you watched till here and you love the Prophet Muhammad, hit the like button and subscribe.